Hey, it's me, ABSD, and welcome to the Living ABSD podcast. You can call me AB for short, and if you're not yet aware, ABSD has dual meaning in my life, and if you're listening to this, in your life. Me as a being, I am ABSD. ABSD stands for my initials. And it also stands for the initials of the organization that I have created, A Better Standard Direction. In this context, Living ABSD stands for Living a Better Standard Direction for you and your life, choosing new norms, choosing to lean into this new way of living and life through the lens of Living ABSD. So that's what this episode is all about. It is the introduction to this new podcast space in which the intention is to create and teach on different topics that help promote healing and a better standard direction of life for all beings who interact with this work. The intention is to help teach people how to begin to create a new standard for their own lives through love, healing, and personal responsibility required. As we show up to life, the only person who is responsible for the betterment of us is us. And this collective consciousness needs all of us to show up to our own betterment and to our own healing so that we can help heal the whole. As I enter into this space today, I'm going to ground myself. Please feel free to breathe with me. And I'm going to set an intention for this podcast today. And I'm going to go from there. All right. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. But if you're not and can, I invite you to close your eyes along with me. And let's take 3 grounding breaths together. I call upon my divine spirit team and guides, angels, ancestors, God, universe, creator, source, and any beings that vibrate at divine love or higher that wish to enter into this podcast space with me now. Help me have the right words that resonate with the beings that are listening to this space. Help this podcast find all that are ready to integrate this new way of life, new norms, new possibilities into their existence, into the betterment of the whole. Help guide me to my own confidence and authenticity, vulnerability that I get to bring into this space through the lens of love for myself and through the lens of love for all beings that are witnessing this with me. And so it is. Whew. I just have to acknowledge this tension I'm feeling in my heart space right now. It wants to be acknowledged. And I think as I'm recording this episode, this is a big turning point in my journey with a better standard direction and creating a space where the intention of this organization is talked about more clearly and shared through this lens. I really want this space to be an awakening for people, to realize that there is a movement happening in the world and that you can be a part of it. Living ABSD, the podcast, has a few things going on with it. And I hope that you feel inspired to listen to those that resonate with you, whether it's specific topics that I'm teaching on or different guest segments that highlight the individual journey. Whatever resonates with you will find you and is meant for you. But what is living ABSD? And what does it mean to live ABSD? I really want to start by explaining where this idea came from because I think it's kind of silly and funny. So when I changed my name to ABSD, you can imagine all of the different comments that I've gotten along the way over the past few years of people not really knowing what to say and expressing that through their own curiosity or discomfort in that moment when I introduce myself. I've gotten a lot of different responses, and I've kept a long list that has some just really funny examples. But the one that I was inspired by for this podcast was with a gentleman at a taco shop. And I was introducing myself, and he was like, ABSD, that sounds like a disease. Like someone would be like, I've got ABSD. And I looked at him and I'm like, yeah, if someone says that, it'll be a positive thing though. And then it started to ruminate in my mind, and the light was starting to shine through that living ABSD, living a better standard direction for your life, is something that people can embody. It is something that people can recognize as a shift happening within them. Maybe not it's a disease, maybe it's a movement and a choice that an individual can choose for their life to better their life. And when people ask them what is different, the thing that is different is that they're living ABSD. They're living this different perspective. They're living this better standard direction of life for themselves. This one conversation I had with this man at this taco shop sparked something way bigger in me that was already building, but needed a new direction for myself to go in, an inspiration. So from that place, I started thinking about how can I help teach people that they can live this new lifestyle, that you can embody living ABSD. And truly, as I've been envisioning this organization for years now, the thing that I always come back to is that it will be a noticeable change in you and in people around you when you start to choose this different direction of life, when you get involved with this organization and this movement is able to start building bridges between you and other areas of your life, and through different organizations that help provide you the resources that you might have a need or a gap in your life to help fill. Because a better standard direction meets you where you are always being supported from the place that you are planted right now. And that's why there's such an importance on accepting where you are, which foreshadowing is an episode that you can listen to and learn about on how to help yourself accept where you are in your current place and process in life. Living a better standard direction means choosing you. It means choosing life. It means choosing better, knowing that there is better available and choosing that path each and every day. Waking up to the reality that we are part of a collective consciousness. And when we choose to better our own individual self and heal this whole, this body, this spirit, this soul that we live inside of, we are impacting the collective consciousness. This individual health within ourselves is not from an ego perspective, but it's from an eco perspective that helps with the whole. When we learn how to meet our own needs, then we can show up in service. Then we can transcend beyond our ego. Then we can be a being who has space for the rest of it, for the rest of the collective consciousness. And because we're part of this energy that is so connected, when we heal ourselves, we are healing the whole, because every time we show up to bettering our own lives, we are bettering the collective. Because every time we choose that, we choose something differently, we choose a better standard for ourselves, we choose this new form of life, we are impacting the whole collective consciousness through our own individual consciousness. It means waking up to this reality that we are all part and connected on this beautiful planet. That also means connected to the earth, not just humans, but it's connected to all beings. It means that when you're ready to shift out of these old norms and into new norms, that it supports the whole. This includes the entire planet and every living being that lives on this planet. This means knowing that there's more available and believing that more is available for you and your life. You have to claim it and you have to work towards it each and every day. And that's a choice. And a better standard direction exists to help you choose that each and every day. It exists to help you fill the needs that you need help with. It exists to help build bridges and create systems that support the whole. It means choosing curiosity and a lens of growth for the future. It means deciding that you want more for your life, for you and the people around you. Living ABSD, embodying this movement, means that you're part of something greater. You're always part of something greater, whether or not you choose to embody this, you're part of it. And when one of us fails, we all fail. When one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And we have to be willing to strip away the unhealthy competition to support and cheer each other on in the successes, because each success is a success for the whole. Creating new norms in our lives is what a better standard direction exists to do. All norms, every single normal thing on this planet, quote unquote normal, is truly a construction of society. Everything that we have labeled as comfortable because it's a norm for our society was created by humans for humans. And if all norms were once created, then we can uncreate them and create new norms. And from this place, we don't have to go back and be like, I'm going to deconstruct every single one of these norms to build new. We can just start building new from this place. And the old deconstruction is going to happen naturally as we continue to choose a new, better standard direction for our lives, as we choose new norms that align with that. And that might be as simple as when you're walking down the road and you see some fucking garbage, you pick it up and choosing to clean up our earth. Or maybe this is changing to a sustainable product in your home. Or maybe this is just looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I love you, self. It could be any of those things, all of those things, and limitless possibilities more from that. But creating new norms around how we can better our whole and better the future for ourselves and 7 generations. We right now are going through the 6th mass extinction on our planet. And whether or not humans are part of that extinction, we are yet to know. But if we don't start making some real changes in our everyday life and choices for ourselves and for the whole, we will be part of that extinction. And let me tell you, Mother Earth is going to live on without us if we don't get our shit together. And part of the reason why this movement exists is to help usher in this new earth, the earth that is healed and whole, and this attitude of restoration over extraction. And how do we continue moving into restoring ourselves, restoring the earth, instead of extracting from both? When we restore ourselves, restoring the earth comes naturally and easily because that is part of the restoration of the whole. This means waking up to your uniqueness and the beautiful divine gifts that you hold inside of you. You are specifically, uniquely you. No one else can live the way you do, has the perspective that you do. And the unfortunate thing that we have normalized in our society is that we're all meant to be the same. Here is this box. This is what is comfortable. Fit into it. But we don't ever fit into a box. Boxes are not the shapes of humans. We're not meant to fit into this confinement of things being one way and only that way. We're meant to do things through our unique view, through our unique perspective, and show up to this life in that way and impact our lives and the ripple effect on the people around us that can benefit from our unique gifts. Whether that is knitting beanies or creating spaceships. It doesn't matter anything in between and outside of that, even because it's your unique gift. And part of this shift, part of this change that living ABSD is bringing into the earth, bringing into consciousness during this time and now, is learning how to awaken the gifts inside of you, awaken the divine light that lives in you, and learning how to choose that every day, learning how to take steps in new ways to discover how this gift lives internally in you and how to share it externally with the collective to help heal the whole. Living ABSD encourages healing and growth, yourself and the bigger picture. It recognizes that you are a part of a bigger network of connection and there is more available. Life is meant to be lived. In our current systems, we are taught that we are cogs in a machine and that if you are not an effective cog, then you are defective. Let me tell you, my friend, you are not defective. We are not meant to live in a world where we are going and sitting in office buildings for 8 to 9 hours a day, going home, rinse and repeating, and having no time or space for us or for life or for experiences. We are not meant to live in this energy of just drowning and treading water, being exhausted day in and day out, because that's all that we have available to us. Because we're trying to survive in a society that runs off of our needs not being met. At a basic level, all of our human needs are meant to be met. And then from there, our wants are able to be discovered and explored. All of your needs are meant to be met. Your human needs are inherently part of you. Shelter, nutrition, clothing, all of these things that we have access to that we don't share abundantly, even though we are creating at such a rapid rate that we are actually destroying our planet in the process. There are more resources available than we actually need at this time. More resources that continuously just being pumped out mindlessly, that whether or not they're actually of quality of not or not is definitely a huge part of the discussion. But these resources are being pumped out, but they're not available to people because of, we're gatekeeping them because of money. And that's bullshit. Your basic needs are meant to be met. And this new movement is helping meet those needs and then finding how we can lift off from this new foundation. The earth has more than enough for us when we actually only take what we need. And then there's also still more room for want. But there is so much available to us. And because we're living through this lens of extraction versus restoration, we are creating our own downfall. We will be the death of us if we don't change something soon. And now, being part of this movement, being part of this organization, is choosing to live for a better future. Every day we wake up and choose a better future. We make decisions on how we can help heal the whole for all of humanity, for those who want to be a part of this and for those who don't. Because let me tell you, even the people that don't want to be a part of this, we are still supporting you because you're part of the whole. This work, this choice, this movement is moving through all of us so that we have a future, so that we can create a collective consciousness that supports all of us in living and living out our sacred dances each and every day. The unique light and gifts that live inside of you and me and all of us. And however that manifests into reality, that's fucking beautiful and worthy to take the time to calibrate to knowing what your gifts are, to knowing what your passions are, to be willing to be curious, to learn about new things, because we don't know what we don't know. And if you don't know that something exists, it might be your favorite thing ever, but you don't know because you only live inside of this small perspective that feels comfortable. Living ABSD is deciding that I'm going to be uncomfortable so that I can grow. I'm going to be uncomfortable so I can be curious about what's next, knowing that I am supported, knowing that I am always where I'm meant to be, knowing that I am always provided for. Universal energies, the belief that there's more available always, more is always coming, abundance, abundance, abundance. Wow. Being a part of this is being willing to not understand it all at this point. Not being able to understand the full picture, maybe, but knowing that every time you show up to this work, there's more unfolding for you in your individual life and for the movement. Every single energy, every single person who decides to be part of this movement is impacting the energy, is impacting the resources, is impacting the opportunities that are available for you and for all people who are part of this. We are creating a network for people to channel through, to understand what is available, to know where the bridges are being built, to see how we are moving beyond ego so that we can create this betterment for the whole. This means working to be a bridge in your own community, seeing the needs and recognizing how can I help build a bridge from one need to the next. What organization is doing this work and what other organization is also doing this work, and how can we work together past our egos to actually maintain and get to our visions, to actually live those visions out lively and vibrantly. When we actually compile our resources, we have so much available to us. Living through this movement, deciding a better standard direction for your life is choosing to remove your ego from the conversation so that we can all be better for it. Knowing that your individual contribution is worthy and needed and supported and celebrated, and that when you win, we all win. We are all cheering each other on in this. The idea of competing with each other to get ahead is no longer. It's never supported us, really. It's been put in place so that we can help keep each other small, but we are all such big, vibrant beings. Take up as much space as you need and are meant to take up in this lifetime, and take it up vibrantly and loudly, because you are meant to embody all that you are. But in order to do that, we have to continue choosing differently. We have to continue choosing growth and healing and a betterness for ourselves. Knowing that it is getting better every time we show up to this work. Knowing that our future selves are so grateful for this version of self who is deciding that there is more. This means living through the lens of love, protecting our earth, owning where you are right now in your journey and accepting that as your truth, claiming the divine light that lives inside of you, shifting your perspective to curiosity and the willingness to see things differently, being patient with yourself and the shifts that happen as you walk a healing journey. Focusing on how you can have your needs met so that you can show up in the world as the best version of yourself and for the collective. Because when we forget our own selves in this, then we're not functioning to our best ability, and then we're not showing up in our best self. And there are going to be days where you're just discouraged and that it's going to be hard to show up, and you don't have to show up on those days. Do some fucking self-care and take care of your whole. Because only you know what you need. Only you can protect you in that sense and help show up to the fullness that exists inside of you. Wherever you go, there you are. Nobody else lives inside of your mind. Nobody else is with you 100% of the time except for yourself. So you have to be responsible for taking claim of your needs and asking for what you need, asking for help when it's necessary. But taking responsibility for your own part in this process for yourself. I can't come through this screen and heal you. I can't even sit next to you and heal you. I can have conversation with you and we can be in community and I can lean on you and ask for your perspective and advice. And that's going to benefit my journey and my whole. But then I have to take that information, I have to compost it, I have to metabolize it, and then I have to choose what resonates and choose what's best for me. Nobody else can do that except for me, except for you, for yourself. Every day, just showing up and doing your best, no matter what that means. We do your best and source does the rest. It means living a life of nonviolence and knowing that there is another option besides violence. It means believing you know your body and self best and trusting that other people know themselves best. That I don't know what's happening in your body and your truth. You don't know what's happening in my body, in my truth. And we have to respect each other in that process. We have to acknowledge that if it's not hurting me, it's not hurting you, and it's not hurting the whole, then green light. I am free to do that. I am free to express that way and to let it sit in my body the way that it feels most authentic to me. It means seeing across differences to create change that supports all of us. And embracing your life as nonlinear so you can be present with the unique flow that is you and your life. Living ABSD is expanding each and every day. It's expanding through every person who shows up in this space and hears these words. It's expanding through every person who interacts with this movement and is showing up saying, hey, I have this resource. I have this idea. How can I get involved? How can I show up in this? Living ABSD is an embodiment. And let me tell you, ever since I began living a better standard direction for my own life, ever since this movement began developing inside of me and then out of me, my life gets better each and every day. Yes, there's challenge along the way, but I meet myself with ease and grace, knowing that I am human and knowing that I am doing my best. And if that means I just need a break. If that means that I'm ready and I'm going to go full speed all day, but I'm not going to just try to fill and make everything so full just because I think that's what I'm meant to do. No, I'm going to listen to my own needs first, meet those, and then show up to the collective as my best self. Show up to the collective knowing that I am doing my best and wanting to participate for this betterment of the future. To get involved, go to abetterstandarddirection.com. Check out our resources and what is available and how you can get plugged in your community. And if we're not yet in your community, you can start us there. This movement moves through all of us. It moves through talking to your neighbor and telling your neighbor about this cool thing that you found. It means that when somebody asks you, wow, you seem a lot happier, or what's changed in your life, telling people that you're living ABSD, that you're living this movement through you. Discovering this light inside of you and how it flickers out in the world is how we change the world for the better. This is not just me. It is not just you, as all of us, to help heal humanity from the inside out. We have to compost the systems that are not working. And that means creating new systems now, creating a foundation that serves us now. And that means trial and error, figuring out what works. This work begins now, but it is a lifelong journey for all of us and for every person that comes behind us. Choosing that we are going to show up on this planet differently, that we as humans are deciding that we want better for ourselves, that all of the history exists so that we can learn from it. All of the history that has just caused harm and hurt and bloodshed has actually not served us, but has taken us and destroyed people and communities and futures in the process, and that we can choose differently for our life in the future. This means showing up in collective resources. This means sharing your resources and being willing to allow your unique knowledge to be known by the collective. I'm so grateful that you are here and that you are curious about what it means to live ABSD, that you are curious on how to make your life better. And if you are here, I applaud you, because that means that something sparked in you to find that this exists and to find that there's more available for you and your life than the current nonsense and hurt and harm that you are navigating right now. I'm not going to promise you that it's going to disappear overnight, because it's not. A healing journey is a lifelong journey. And if you start it today, you are on it until the end, which is death. And wherever your starting point is today, I know that your energy and your unique lens on life will help impact this movement for the better. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, no matter what language, what skin color, what gender, what sexuality, no matter anything across aisles, we can see across that when we lean into this knowing that we're all connected, and this collective consciousness that we are all connected through the divine oneness and rainbow spiral that lives in all of us, through love and through knowing that we can do better than this. Life is meant to be lived. So let's go fucking live it. Let's go have the opportunity to live it. And let's take the time here and now so that we can experience all that we are meant to in these lifetimes, for ourselves now, for every future generation, because we're part of the shift. We're part of ushering in the newness of one earth, one whole, because we're all connected and we all live on one planet together, the sacred ground that we walk upon with every step that we take. No more bloodshed needs to happen in order for us to heal, in order for us to create new ways of life, to keep culture and to grow from this place of beauty. And wisdom is so vibrant. It's so vibrant. This means allowing everybody to have a seat at the table and hearing these perspectives that may be different. This means that giving space for our old indigenous wisdom that is still relevant and beautiful today to be part of the conversation and shifting into what we do next. As we move forward in this movement and in this lifetime together as part of this collective consciousness, I invite you to be a part of it. I invite you to be involved. And I am so grateful for every single one of you that takes that invitation and runs with it and has your unique thumbprint of impact on this movement of change. I love you so much. I love you so, so much. And I am so happy that you are here. And as we move forward, go out and live a better standard direction for your life. Love loudly, live vibrantly, live your unique gifts. Your perspective is needed in this world and wanted for the betterment of the whole. I love you so deeply. And I can't wait to share all of the other teachings and unique perspectives that this season 1 of Living ABSD podcast is going to bring. It's so exciting. I just know that you're going to love it. It's so great. Till next time, I'm AB. Bye.